I want to show you a simple but powerful way to use the VWAP on the 15-minute and pairing that with your 1-minute price action to get the best entries. Taking a look at ES here on the 1-minute side of things, we had a nice bearish open here, popping outside the open range low, clearly setting in some sort of bearish bias, right? But if you see my course on ASFX TV, you know I don't want to just sell it at a low price and hope it keeps on going lower. I like to look for a deeper pullback, preferably off a key level. But I think this could be your New York VWAP bounce that you'd want to take short. But the thing I want to talk about is not going long here. As you see, maybe this is going to be our higher low, higher high. Let's keep going higher. First things first is, what is your bullish bias that makes you believe you want to go higher, right? You need to have a theory behind that or a thesis behind that. First thing we could look at is if you look at the initial balance, which is the first hour of the day. I'll turn on these red lines here. You can see we broke out of the bottom. Now, if we go over to Edgefield, one of my favorite ways to use the reports is the initial balance report. This is just standard. It shows you how often it breaks both sides. So you can see it double breaks 15% of the time in the past 6 months, 19 out of 127 days. But let's get more specific and just go by weekday, because Friday specifically is our least profitable day of 11.5% of the time it would double break. Only 3 out of the last 26 Fridays have we broken both sides of this initial balance. So now with that idea in mind as well, that's really telling me there's a 12% chance we would go all the way back up here and break both sides. Being that we took out the bottom, we probably don't also want to take out the top. So that's not keeping me looking for longs. It actually wants to keep looking for shorts, as well as I can throw in the 15-minute here on the left side. Clearly no buyers in control. All underneath this 15-minute daily view up, which you know is my line in the sand. If we're underneath this, I want to be looking for shorts. If we can get above it and sustain above it, then maybe I would look for longs. But even just simply take in, it's all lower highs and lower lows. There's no reason to be a buyer. Just because this 1 minute is showing some buying power doesn't mean it's a bullish rally or that we're going to continue bullish, right? You got to think in probabilities of it. Is this likely to keep going higher, or is it just giving me some bullish price action for the short term? You can even look back to yesterday. Where is the bullish bias that you're saying, hey, I want to buy it right here? I think we're going to look longs here. It just doesn't seem very probable given the trend, given the structure, and given that you're underneath these VWAPs. So now let's go back to the 1 minute and say, okay, well then I don't want to be chasing these longs, because that's honestly where a lot of amateurs are going to get jumped in, thinking we're going to go higher because we're making this clear, higher highs and higher lows for the short term. Can't deny that. But don't get induced into that. Don't get sucked into that feeling like we're going to go to this top, because it probably doesn't want to happen. 12% of the time it would want to happen, as well as there's more sellers in control today. The thesis today is still lower highs, even here on the 1 minute. So I'm actually looking for shorts that once we get back below this New York VWAP, that would be your opportunity to take it back into trend looking for more shorts. Let's say we throw in a short there with our stop loss at structure. Another thing we could do is let's throw in a lower day VWAP. Let's wait for sellers to take back control. Even though we don't want the longs, let's wait for a clear sign that sellers are back in. So maybe they're not back until here. Okay, they break the lower day VWAP. Same thing, I'll widen the stop to the structure point because it's been a very volatile day. I want to give it all the room it needs to breathe. And you just widen this out. You clearly get a new lower day. It takes some time, but lower highs and lower lows continue like they had in the morning. And you can see how well sellers defend underneath this lower day VWAP. Once they took control here, sellers just defend it. Sellers defend it with another lower high, and then finally we crack for that short-term lower low. The lower low really comes in over here. But just sticking to that bearish bias, thinking in, what is my thesis? Am I thinking we're going higher just because it's moving higher right now? Or what's probably going to happen from here on out? Do we turn back bearish? Are we actually bullish on the 15-minute? No, we're actually bearish. Okay, so let me look for more shorts. That's just today on this Friday. Let's go back to literally, let's stay on the 1 minute here. We'll go back to the day prior. Let's rewind it here so we can get our levels on. And rewind it to the day prior on the Thursday. Same thing happens. You get a nice bearish open, setting in the clear bearish bias. Let's throw in the initial balance levels again here. You can see we just barely took out the bottom here. All right, well, there's our single break. We can go back to Edgefield here and check out our Thursdays. 20% of the time. So a little bit more likely, but still not probable. It's 20% of the time on Thursdays in the past year that we would break both sides. So there's only a 20% chance of us coming up here to break both sides. So I'm not really getting induced into the longs. Now, I don't want to suggest that you do it. You could long it here close to the New York VWAP, right? If you're going to be taking these, I don't want to say counter plays, but out of plan trades, you really got to be as close to these VWAPs as possible. So even if you just short long it here, you still could potentially make money in that small move. But if you chase it too high up, thinking that the longs are going to sustain, so you buy it here, then you're too late. You got a bad price. That's not actually the direction we want to continue. so you don't make money. So I would just say rather than try to time it, wait for the shorts to come back in because that's the higher probability direction. That's where the structure overall wants to go. So same thing, we looked at the 15-minute on the previous markup we just went over. Let's go back to the day prior. Let's throw in our daily VWAP, and you'll see here, same thing. Throw in the daily VWAP, make it black, and this is our 15-minute. Same idea, where this is bouncing off here on the right side above my head. You can see me circling it on the left side. All it is just returning to that daily VWAP, which is where I actually want to be looking for more trend continuation because that's often where the move happens from. You can see pre-market, if you sold it at the daily VWAP, the move happens from there. At the open, the move happens from there. If you sell it there later on in the afternoon, the move happens from there. So you got to take into consideration what's the higher time frame story, the trend, the structure itself as well, right? Like I said, I'd be looking for longs if we're above the daily VWAP, which I guess you could say we are here on the 15-minute. But again, it's got to be sustained above it because as far as I'm concerned, we're still making lower highs. So although we are above it slightly, we're still falling. So if we can get above it and maybe stay above it, then maybe I'll look for longs over here. But it's too early and too soon to say that buyers are in, gonna hold in, and gonna continue us higher. So just reading this 15-minute, you clearly still see bearish structure. This is actually where I want to be looking for shorts around this overnight daily VWAP. So again, same thing. You have the stats of saying we probably don't want to double break. The 15 minutes not telling you probably want to continue higher with the trend looking bullish or bearish like that. So same thing. You don't want to get induced into that. So once we get back below New York VWAP, then we could be looking for shorts because sellers are actually showing that they're trying to come back in as well. Same thing. We could throw in a lower day VWAP. We'll turn that purple. So once you get above this New York VWAP, we don't want to chase that long. But then once you do get back below it, saying sellers are in, you throw in a short. Let's put a stop loss at structure. And it goes and makes your nice new attempt for a lower low. Back in the trend on the 15-minute, back where the sentiment was all morning to the downside, bouncing off a key level on the 15-minute. Just a super clean, easy way to hopefully avoid taking this long, right? Because it's just a tough one to predict it's going to move higher when it probably doesn't want it. As well as really getting a great price on the 15-minute for the next leg of trend to come back in. So hopefully you guys made some money short on that lower day break, or even the retest there off New York VWAP. You get some nice moves off of that. And if you've never seen it, this is all taught on ASFX TV here in the Futures 2.0 course. Like I said, the VWAP bounce and the VWAP break, as well as the key levels. I walk you through A to Z. How do I trade these markets with this strategy? So if you're not a member of it or you don't have access, you can use code Evan. I'll give you 50% off your first month, as well as you can watch the live streams where I take these trades that I'm teaching you. I'll take them live every morning with you on stream. And if you missed the live streams, you could always go back and watch the replays of the trades we did take and why we didn't take this, why we did take that, right? But just super clean trades today or these past 2 days, and really just good lessons of this is why I want to sell it or buy it, depending on the day, at this overnight VWAP, keeping in mind that 15-minute because it really protects me from chasing bad plays and getting into really good prices before the trend comes back in and I don't have to chase price much lower. So hopefully you guys found value in it. Hopefully you guys will check out Top 1 Futures as well. That's where I'm trading right now on the Project X platform. So super clean. I actually just set up the copying account. So now I have my accounts copied together on Project X. Super excited for that. If you need a code or need an account with Top 1 Futures, they are running a 50% off sale right now if you use code Evan. So that's huge. And I'm also doing a giveaway. If you buy an account with my code between now and April 11th, you'll be entered into a giveaway to win more accounts for free. All you got to do is just make a purchase with code Evan. So I'm looking forward to giving away some more accounts. We'll do that probably, try to do it as often as possible, but maybe every other week we'll give away some Top 1 Futures accounts. So I'm really looking forward to that. But stick to your rules. Hopefully you found value in these VWAPs. Hopefully you implement them the way I just showed you here. Let's make some money. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.